Oh, I just have two cameras.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Okay, I'll say she Okay, hey everybody, welcome to YANY Beauty Talks. So this is our first time doing a YANY Beauty Talks. It's really just a moment of self-care for everyone, because a lot of our customers are ones who are like really busy and always say that they just don't take time for themselves, and so we really wanted to just offer a moment where we can all just be, right? Talk about beauty, get pampered on a little bit, and that's it. So we'll be doing these regularly throughout the year. And I am grateful that we have a beauty panel. These are experts in hair and makeup. We had an esthetician. She unfortunately went into labor early. So she won't make it. So the skincare questions I am going to just not ask today that we got from people who registered. But I'm going to give the panel opportunity to introduce themselves, tell you about who they are, their businesses, and then I will moderate the questions. And if you have a question, then I'll give you the opportunity to ask. So first we have Haley.
Hi, I'm Haley. I own Lush Beauty Bar Atlanta. We are mobile bridal hair and makeup services, but we also do prom, homecoming, special event, photo shoot, everything under the sun. I got started in this industry when I was very young. I started modeling when I was 16, 17 years old, and I actually met a makeup artist on the set of a magazine shoot. It was Hair in Motion magazine. I used to have a lot of hair, now I have like no hair. But I met her and I loved her because at that time, I mean, you know, that long ago, it was really hard to find makeup artists who could work on different skin tone types and tones well. You know what I mean? Some people can't work on darker skin tones, some people can't work on light, and this lady just did so good on everybody, and I was like, you know what, like, I love that. Like, I want to be able to do that, and I took private lessons with her. It was a 10-week course. It was actually over the course of 6 months. I have a son. I had one son at that time, so it took me a little bit longer to complete. And then I started doing makeup and hair services myself, just on friends. I did my first wedding in 2017, and I knew, like, this is what I want to do for sure. And then I opened Lush Beauty Bar 2 years ago. We have 12 girls on the team who do hair, makeup. We have an esthetician who does facials, so we do kind of a little bit of a lot. And yeah, so that's how I got here. I now have 3 kids, 3 boys. Pray for me. And yeah, I love what I do.
Awesome, thank you. Now we have Geneva.
Hello, I'm Geneva Nicole, and I'm a makeup artist as well. My business name is Let's Makeup by Geneva Nicole. And I got started, I'm from Indianapolis, so I kind of got started like just experimenting on my own face. My sister did hair and my mom was into like hair and makeup also. And one day I just kind of got asked, oh, can you do my face? And I was like, no, I just do my own makeup. But back then I was kind of like a yes person a little bit. So when someone asked me that I really cared about, I'd say, yeah, I can do it. At the time, it was probably ahead of my like expertise. But that night, because it was a special event, I like researched YouTube, Google, everything, how to do makeup for a special event. And after taking her, that's when I knew like I wanted to get started. Like how she knew when she did her wedding, it was just a difference in doing your own face compared to somebody else. And that was all the way when I was in Indianapolis. I moved here and I graduated in psychology, but when I came here, business was booming for, of course, beauty. So I just kept going with it, and now I'm 5 years in. And yeah,
Good for you.
yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Kayla.
Hi. Hey, I am Kayla. I'm the owner of 11 Hair Co. I have a studio space out in Buckhead, and I have been professionally doing hair since 2017. I specialize in natural hair care and scalp care. I think there are a lot of women in the city, especially in our community, that deal with a lot of natural hair loss and scalp issues, and so I decided to kind of gravitate towards that to help a lot of women who are suffering. And let's see, I decided to take my business serious after my daughter came. She was like, listen, girl, let's do this. So since 2017, I've been professional, and I've had my own space since 2019. So yeah.
2017 seems to be the year.
Right.
Right, everybody, 2017. Okay, so I am going to ask some questions that people registered. They asked questions, and then just some questions that I thought that would be good for the panel. And like I said, afterwards, I'll give you opportunities to ask specific questions, whether you're talking about your hair, your makeup, you want tips and tricks, you ask the experts. So the first question, and this is going to go for everyone, we'll just go down the line. What makes a person beautiful?
That's a good question. I think beauty is different for everybody. Personally, I think we all think different things make us beautiful, whether it's when we wake up in the morning and look at ourselves, or if we base beauty off of personality. So I think it's really an individual question. You know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks something else makes them beautiful and other people beautiful. To me personally, though, if that's what we're asking, I think personality and your, how you help others, things like that, versus, how you look.
I would agree with that. I would definitely say personality, and probably because of my background in psychology, I'm big on like experience and how you feel inside. And I think that's why women go for like the beauty option, so we can feel good inside because we look good outside.
I agree with both of you guys. Definitely energy and spirit is what I believe makes a person beautiful, and who they are to other people.
Absolutely. And you all actually answered my second question was, although we usually think about people being visually beautiful, are there other ways of being beautiful? So they pretty much all answered that, how they think people are beautiful. So do you think the concept of beauty is the same today as it was 100 years ago? And if not, what has changed? And I'm going to start with Kayla this time.
A lot of things are coming back, especially in the hair industry. A lot of things are circling back as far as outward beauty goes. So yeah, I think so.
100 years ago.
A long time ago.
I would say a lot of times, because I kind of like the retro stuff, so on like TikTok or like YouTube, I'll see older videos, and even like Sir John, who like does Beyonce's makeup, I'll see his past work, and in my opinion, it definitely has evolved. Just what we have for different skin complexions and just different products that we're able to use. I think we're off to a good start now.
So I think if we date back, like, to the beginning, right? Beauty is different culturally, like where you grow up. All around the world, beauty is different to different people, there's cultures who think long necks are beautiful more than people wearing makeup or having nice eyebrows or something like that, you know what I mean? So, but as far as like trends, like how we're talking about, I do see trends as a revolving door. Everything ends up, coming back around. Eventually, retro styles are definitely coming back in. Bell-bottom dreams, look.
Yeah.
I did not wear these all of high school, okay? I was like, no, my mama wore those, and now, like, you can't get me out of them, right? Okay? So it definitely comes back around. But I think culturally, if you think about it, like, it's getting more into, like, we love beautiful filtered women. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, social media and social aspect of it, we just put on more makeup, and then you have the clean beauty that's coming back too. So it's really, I feel like beauty as far as socially comes in trends, you know what I mean? And you just kind of have to follow the trends to feel beautiful these days, you know?
So this question wasn't there, but I'm going to ask this question. So talking about trends, everybody on social media, and I'm not going to say everybody, of course, I'm this generally speaking, but are putting on more makeup or doing different things to their body images because they want to kind of fit in. What would you tell those people about just how they can embrace their natural beauty versus mirroring their beauty to what they see on Instagram?
That's a good question. Whenever I get asked this a lot. Whenever I get asked this question, I like to tell people to think back to high school, right? When we look at that, I always think like, why did I care so much about what those girls thought of me? You know what I mean? And our big frizzy hair and our bold, really bad eyeliner back then. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at it for me. Is like, in 10 years, am I gonna care what these people thought of how I look like right now? Right? So now I just tell people, like, be yourself. You know, like, if you don't like a lot of blush, don't wear a lot of blush, but just because it's trending right now. If you don't like bold eye colors, don't wear them just because it's trending. Just do what you think makes you look beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would agree also. I really think, like she said, it's about doing what you like. And I don't think it's anything wrong with following trends. I always tell people, try it. You know, it's with makeup, at least, it's just makeup. If you don't like it, take it off. But at least you stepped out your comfort zone and you tried the newest thing. And you don't have to force yourself to like it. Do what you feel is right. But, you know, experiment is what I would say.
I agree with both of you guys. I think that we as women need to do a lot, digger deep in ourselves and figure out who we are as a woman, and then show up with that confidence. So whatever we decide to do will work. You know, whether it's altering the body or being natural. I think go for what you want, not because of what somebody else is doing.
Yeah, right. I'd agree. So these are makeup specific questions. Should concealer be applied before or after foundation?
Good question. So it depends on what you're trying to do to your face. So if you apply concealer before foundation, you're trying to conceal spots. So, you know, dark circles, redness, things like that. If you're trying to brighten the face, then you want to apply it after you put your foundation. That's kind of the difference in when you apply those two things.
Okay. Is that how you would do it?
Yeah, exactly. And I remember my oldest sister, Katrina, when I was just starting makeup, she was like, well, you use the concealer last or like towards the end, and I use it first, and what's the difference? But that's exactly how I explained it to her. And then it kind of becomes confusing because when we're using it towards the end, we say it's highlighting, but it's to bring the center focus of your face out. And then the sparkly highlight is for the cheeks. So you just kind of have to know the terms and also what you're trying to accomplish.
And so when you say center focus, what would you be talking about for somebody who doesn't know anything about makeup?
The
what are you
focal
saying?
point of your
Yes.
face.
Yeah, like the T-zone,
Okay.
forehead, and under the eyes, like when somebody's looking directly at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hair question. Is scalp care important? And I know you're going to say yes because you talked about scalp care. And if so, what are your best scalp treatment tips?
Scalp care is extremely important. And going back to following trends and how we feel about ourselves, everything starts with the inside. So a lot of people are suffering with scalp issues that need to shift their diet. They need to shift their sugar intake, dairy intake. They need to figure out what's going on with their blood work. They need to figure out what products are working for them. So I think scalp care is very important. It's not okay to mask anything without dealing with the issue.
Great answer. So we're gonna go, and I'm gonna ask you, Geneva, first. How do you apply foundation over acne?
Foundation over acne. Well, I deal with a little bit of acne myself, and when I have my clients, I really start with skincare. I use a lot of products before I even am applying like your foundation. I moisturize the skin. I do a serum on the skin. And that's with somebody that has acne or does not. Especially if you have like a breakout, I'm gonna take care of your skin first and then probably apply like a foundation that's not too heavy, something that doesn't block your pores would be good for acne prone skin. When you're shopping, just for like the regular consumer, there are products that you can go into like Sephora, Ulta, tell them you have acne prone skin. They can give you natural products to help that.
Great. Anything else, Haley?
Yeah, I think like she said, having skincare in it is good, but to go even further than that, into the question, like whether you're trying to wear something that's okay for your acne or whether you're trying to cover up your acne with foundation would be like a more like deeper question about like that one simple question. So I think that if you're trying to take care of your skin while you have acne, you need to make sure you figure out what type of skin you have and get on a good skincare regimen. Because at the end of the day, all of us would love to have perfect skin that we can just throw a tinted moisturizer on, right? But if you are flaring in acne, 99% of the time there's a reason why you're flaring in acne. If we can figure out what that reason is and stabilize that reason and get you on a good regimen that can kind of, you know, bring your flare down, you know, and you just wear a tinted moisturizer during the day until you can get that down. That way it's not so heavy and cakey and clogging your pores like she said. But as far as covering it up, you would need to color correct it, right? To cancel out red, we're going to use a green color corrector. To cancel out dark spots, we're going to use, you know, an orange or a deeper red, you know, just so you have the basis of that knowledge. And then you want to conceal over it to kind of, you know, you can't see those colors. And then you want to put your foundation on top of it if you're trying to conceal it.
Awesome. So that was, take notes, everybody. That was a really good, really good tip. And I think it's really good for younger people who are experimenting with makeup. But then I happen to be a little older and started to get adult acne that I never had before, and it comes around like my
Normally
jawline.
hormonal acne.
Yeah, hormonal acne. So I'm always trying to find a way to make sure that it's covered. Usually I was a teenager who had flawless skin and then got older and had acne. Just so backwards, but anyway.
So rude.
Kayla, what are the most common coloring mistakes you come across when people color their hair?
Box dye.
Don't do it.
Beauty supply store. Hair dye. Don't do it. A lot of people don't know this, but there are a lot of metallic dyes in those store-bought colors that are not good for your hair or your skin.
Okay.
Once it gets in your body, it can mess up a whole bunch of things too. So stay away from them.
So what would you suggest? Should they just go to a professional, or if they had to do it at home, what would you suggest?
There are some companies online that are professional that will send you professional color now. I think one. Do you know the name of it's one? It's one company online, Madison Reed, that will send you professional hair color to dye your hair at home.
Okay.
Or go see a professional.
Okay. Go see a professional.
That explains a lot.
How do I apply lipstick on dry lips? So either one you can answer that.
Especially during the winter months, I'd like to start with like a Carmex or exfoliator on the lips, and then by the time I'm done with the face, when I'm applying the products, the lips are like more plump. I've had in the past, I've tried a product from MAC. I think it was like a lip mask that they might have too, like on the market, that you can try to like condition your lips and then apply your lipstick on.
Okay.
Yep, I always tell my clients to exfoliate at nighttime, exfoliate in the morning, and then put nighttime a sleep mask on it. Laneige makes a really good one. I don't know if y'all have heard of that brand. They sell it at Ulta, Sephora. I wear it every single night after I exfoliate.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all a shameless plug too. YANY Beauty sells dual Lip Love Duo. It's a exfoliator and mask that you exfoliate, and then you put the mask on and you let it sit. Like you said, you can sleep in it. You can put it on for like 10 minutes and wipe it off, and your lips are kissable soft. And definitely do that before you put your lipstick on.
Yeah, if you get a lot of dry skin, you need to exfoliate it off and then rehydrate it. Because if you just exfoliate it and then put lipstick on, you're not going to get a good finish. So you need to exfoliate it and then rehydrate it.
Okay, awesome. So, Kayla, how often should people get their hair cut?
Every 4 to 6 weeks.
Every 4 to 6 weeks. Does it matter how long their hair is, the type of hair, or is it just, do you think that's just across the board?
I think that's standard. It depends on the client though.
Okay.
Like some people who are chemically or color treated may need to come in at that 4 mark versus the 6 mark, and some people who are all natural that do everything they're supposed to do at home and come
Okay.
So just
Awesome. What type of product should someone use for their wedding day makeup? And then we'll talk about hair. So, like, you want full on glam. What would be your recommendation?
So there is not one set recommendation that I can give
Okay.
because everybody is so individual. Now, if you're asking for recommendations of my favorite products to use on brides, there's so many different steps. Skincare, 110%. I always start with a good moisturizer. I've been really into the CosRX nail cream lately. And then after that, you know, a primer if you like to prime. Some people just use skincare and serum, or moisturizer and serums. Primers, the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, I'm like a sucker for it. And then I mix it with an illuminating primer like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter or the Lumi Glotion. That's a really good one to give like a nice underlying glow, because I feel like that's what brides want to look like, is glowy and beautiful. And then I feel like I'm going through my whole makeup.
That's a lot of steps.
My favorite foundations just kind of depend on the coverage that the bride wants and what the bride is looking for. If we're talking about, you know, light, natural, I go for a tinted serum. I like the L'Oreal True Match. If we're going for fuller coverage, I really like the Too Faced Born This Way Matte. It's really nice, full coverage, but still hydrating on the skin. It doesn't make you super dry. And then there's so many.
So Geneva, after foundation, what would you do?
Your turn.
Yeah, exactly. Because I figured this would be a long one because I feel like a full glam takes some effort.
Does.
Yes.
So you put your foundation on. What other types of products? And it doesn't even have to be like specifically. Just like, what would I go shop for? Like eyeshadow or blush, or, you know, what would you suggest?
I would say, well, lately I've been really liking Patrick Star. It's in Sephora, or you can get it online. I really like their blushes. I know that's something a lot of brides like on the cheeks, is the blush. Eyeshadow is a lot of eyeshadows. I like the Too Faced palettes that they have, and sometimes they smell good.
That's a plus.
Yeah, that's a bonus. I like it. One that is very classic is the Jacqueline Morphe palette. I have 2 of those, and really I have done like probably at least 5 brides with that. It goes for a lot of different looks. It has deep shadows, lighter shadows. Powders, I would say Laura Mercier. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, Laura Mercier. I like that to set the face. I just got a new spray for like, new setting spray, Skin the Navy, I think it is.
Oh yeah, it's good.
That's one I got from Amazon, where I get a lot of stuff. Yes. And then lipstick, I would probably say MAC. I have a lot of MAC lipsticks. And for those, I don't know if a bride would do this, but if you wanted to like mix some, I depot them and I put them in a little container. I make my own custom shades sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah, MAC Velvet Teddy is one of my
Classic.
most popular bridal shades. If you're trying to shop for lipstick, I would start there and then figure out whether you want deeper or lighter. And then another thing that you didn't mention was contour. I feel like that is really in right now for brides. I've been using the Makeup by Mario contour sticks. They're like my go-to for sure. They're so good.
Nice. So Kayla, hair. What would you suggest for? I think brides a lot of times, well, they wear their hair so many ways. What would you suggest? Just
all across the board, hairspray.
Hairspray?
Hairspray.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's gonna save you the whole day. Now, Aveda has 2 different ones, one for stronger hold and one for like a movable hold.
Okay.
So air control is the movable, and then control for is those 2 are like my go-to.
Okay.
When you're doing updo looks or sleek looks, you can bounce between the 2 of those.
Nice. And so all of these products people can just find in a regular store?
No.
And
No.
Aveda provider, so any salon that has
A
these
salon,
products
okay.
in it, yeah.
Okay.
And another thing I tell my brides is to make sure if you do color your hair, to color it 2 weeks prior to the wedding.
Okay.
And then I like clean hair, so I tell them to wash it the night before. And I always recommend getting a blowout the morning of, if you have this type of hair. But.
Awesome. So I think that's Oh, I have another makeup question, I think. How can I color correct redness or dark spots? Did I ask that?
I think I already answered
I think you
that.
answered that. That's why I probably skipped over it.
Green and red.
Green and red to cover up dark spots and redness. Any questions? Those are all the questions I have. Any questions?
Okay, so I know you said for color correcting you would use green and red, but do you which color would you use? Which is for
If it's redness, you want to use green to cancel that out. And if it's dark circles under your eyes, depending on your skin tone, you would start from my skin tone. I would use a light orange. Y'all's skin tone, like a redder toned color corrector.
Yeah.
So the green is for redness. The red is for orange.
Dark
red
circles.
is for dark. Okay.
Like hyperpigmentation, you can cover that with the orange.
Yes.
So what's your favorite makeup brand for deeper complexions?
Huda Beauty.
I would say yes, I like Huda Beauty. Now I personally can't wear Huda Beauty because my skin is so sensitive and it's a lot of fragrance in it. But I love the coverage and the shade range. Another one that I like is Fenty. I love their shade complexions and how deep they go. And then last one that I have, most of my kit is NARS. I really love NARS.
Do you like the light reflecting? The light reflecting
I
is
do.
much I am.
I like the classic one the best, but light reflecting is very popular.
Any other questions?
Go ahead. So I have a question for Kayla.
Yes.
So, women wear a lot of sew-ins, wigs, and whatnot. And then I guess the downside of that is the scalping thins out. So what products would you recommend or to help with that? And then what is typically the turnaround time to see a difference on a really good high market product?
So everyone is different. I tell my clients, give yourself 6 months at least to see a noticeable change, but it starts with shifting from all of that tension. So if you're having any scalp issues, any hair loss issues, you're gonna have to let go of the braids, the sew-ins, and all of those things and care for your natural hair. I actually have a product. It's called the Hydrating Hair and Scalp Mist. It is all organic. It has tea tree, rosemary, lavender, vitamin E oil. And this is a daily spray that you can spray on your scalp and your hair to hydrate it. But it's gonna start with releasing yourself from those tension hairstyles. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I have one.
Okay.
For makeup, what's a good primer to use for oily skin?
One that I really like is by Hourglass. They have a good one for mattifying skin. One that I use for very special occasions, or if you're really gonna be outside. I use on my brides a lot is by Maron, and it's a liquid primer, and I put that just where you're gonna get oily.
Yeah, they have the Maron Skin Prep too. Make sure that you're cleansing your face before you put makeup on, because that's going to contribute a lot to the excess oil you're going to gain throughout the day.
Okay.
I love the Power Grip primer. I'm such a sucker for it. Milk Hydro Grip is really good too. Just a gripping primer to really keep it on there. Both of her recommendations are really good though, but make sure you're cleansing it, toning it, making sure that you're taking up that excess oil before you put stuff back onto it.
Oh, that's where it starts.
Any other questions? I'm going to ask a question, and I don't know for Kayla if you do locks, but do you have any recommendation, let's say just for braids or locks for, if you're retwisting or when people just start their braids and you want it to kind of hold, but that's not heavy buildup?
I don't do locks, and I don't do
You don't do
braids
braids?
anymore.
Okay.
Anything like a pomade, nothing that's alcohol based, I would
Okay.
say.
Nothing alcohol based.
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, so I am going to go down the list, and I want you all to tell everybody again where your business is and where they can find you, on socials, your website, whatever.
Okay, I own Lush Beauty Bar Atlanta. We're on everything. Instagram is Lush Beauty Bar ATL. Facebook is Lush Beauty Bar ATL. TikTok is Lush Beauty Bar ATL. We also just launched a bridal clothing line, which is Lush Beauty Bar X Bridal Collection. You can find on our website. Our website is www.lushbeautybaratl.com. And yeah, and our building is in Loganville, but we travel all over.
And I am Geneva of Let's Makeup by Geneva Nicole, and I am primarily on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is letsmakeup.gn. Facebook is Let's Makeup by Geneva Nicole.
Nice.
And I'm Kayla. I own 11 Hair Salon in Buckhead, Atlanta, and you can find us on Instagram at 11 Hair Salon. I also have, I didn't tell y'all this,
Well, tell us.
Blueless units, which is also another healthy option while you are working with tending to your scalp and hair. And you can find that 11 Hair Co on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, 11 Hair Salon, and Facebook, 11 Hair Co.
Awesome. And I'm just going to tell you all, I'm Yamina. So the people on live right now, this is YANY Beauty. We are in Fayetteville, Georgia. We're a luxury, inclusive, and sustainable beauty brand where we merge beauty and tech through mobile app, virtual experiences, and makeup and skincare, and vegan and cruelty-free skincare and makeup. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at YANYBeauty.co, www.yanybeauty.co, and TikTok, I believe, is YANY Beauty LLC. But most things, Instagram and Facebook and website is YANYBeauty.co. So I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you all for coming. And I guess that's a wrap. So if you all haven't had a massage, go ahead and get a massage. Our makeup person is gone now, but if you want to shop anything, we also have a raffle. So if you want raffle tickets, we are raffling off what are we raffling off?
A Himalayan crystal lamp, and then we have a set with the spray, candle,
and oil. And so it's mindful spray, so it's all, those are all vegan and natural, so it's room, or you can spray in your room or on your clothes or whatever. The oil is for your body or hair, and then a candle, so it'll be two separate raffles. Like I said, go ahead and get a massage where our lovely massage Tyler is here. You want to tell them about your friend Tyler?
I'm Tyler. I've been doing massages for about 8 years now. I'm mobile. I do come to your home and provide the experience in your home. I'm not really on social medias. I kind of base it off of referrals. But yeah.
And I will refer her. She actually does my massages at home. Me and Shania's. That is Shania. She is the co-owner of YANY Beauty. This is Samia. She's a beauty advisor here. She also is our brow person. She does brows, waxing, tinting, threading, and lamination. So if you ever need your brows done and you're in the area, stop by and let me up here do it. Take pictures. If you take pictures, tag us on Instagram, especially YANYBeauty.co. That's why all of our photo booths and mirrors are here for people to come in and engage. So thank you all very much for your time, and I hope you did have a moment of self-care.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. That was good answer. That was really good. Oh, and then we have some non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks.